Hi, this is Melanie Gray with your Week 4 update on community health. What I'd like to do, first of all, wanted to um, go over where we are in terms of the course. This is our fourth week. Can you imagine that next week's our last week and our time together will be over? I kind of feel like Carol Burnett. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just got started, and before you know it, comes the time we'll have to say so long. Well, we're almost at that point. So, as an overview, teaching and learning, we began the course looking at teaching and learning. Been looking at the components of what is who and what is the community health nurse. Who do they serve and how do they do it? So we've looked at the community role of the community health nurse from a teaching and learning perspective, because that is what the community nurse does. We teach and we learn. We personally learn as lifelong learners so that we can provide the most current information to our families and the communities in which we serve. We look at health promotion issues. How do we promote health? We don't want in acute care, we focus on illness, and in community health, we look at health promotion and prevention. And so that was really week 2. Last week we talked about culture and developing and maintaining cultural competence. We also looked at the aspect of nutrition as a real issue in American health, particularly with families and children. And this week, going into the fourth week, we're looking at the form and function of the family. Because as community health nurses, you work with systems. In acute care, you have an individual patient assignment. And yes, you incorporate the family, but your assignment is to the individual patient. In community health, you really want to incorporate and serve that family or serve that block or that community or that school system in which you work. Um, so that kind of hopefully will tie together where we have been and where we are going as we close out this course. This week, your goal should be that your teams complete your CLC projects. You really want to have that first draft done by next Sunday, so that you can have a final week to edit and to refine it before you turn it in. Looking at observations from the last week's assignment on the literature review that I graded, I noticed that many of you did not appear to have reviewed the rubrics before submitting your assignment. That is what I use to grade. That's what I'm held accountable to for grading. And so you want to hold yourself accountable to it too, really looking at it. On that literature review assignment, many people lost 15% simply because they did not do the comparison of the literature. So really review the rubrics, really look at the instructions. I am online almost at some point, almost every day. I'm happy to answer your questions. So please make use of your resources. The rubric and myself are here to help you. Also watch your turn-in scores. If you submit your paper and you see your turn-in score is over 20%, then I suggest that you not submit it, that you email me, gee, I checked my turn-in score. May I have a day to correct that before I submit? Because the GCU policy is a turn-in score of 20% or less. Because the premise is that we're trying to help you develop your scholarly voice and your scholarly writing voice. As I looked at your papers, typically the turn-in scores, if they were over 20%, was because you had a high number of direct quotes in your paper, and they're short papers. So the goal is really to learn to paraphrase, not so much have a lot of direct quotes, but learn to paraphrase, read something, put it in your own words, and still give credit to the source in which you found that information. Going on to the week 4 assignment, it's due on the 20th, and I'm sorry, you want to have, where I misspoke, you want to have um, your projects done, your first draft done on the 20th. My mistake. So you want to have your first edits done by the 20th. I'm sorry about that. So going back to the week 4 assignment, it's due on October 20th. It's a maximum point of two. It's a maximum point value of 200 points. So you really want to take your time with this. You want to follow the directions, very split, very, you know, point by point. You're to select your family or family of your choice and complete a family assessment. That means you're detailing the number of family members, who they are, and what they said, information you collect on the family. Before interviewing the family, develop 2 or 3 open-ended family-focused questions for each of Gordon's 11 functional health patterns. So if you go look at your book, chapters 6 and 7 in your book, does outline the the 10 functional health patterns. Outlines Gordon's functional health patterns. Can't talk today. So your assignment is to develop 2 or 3 open-ended questions for each of the functional health patterns. So, for example, for related to pattern of health perception and health management, a question you might ask a family is, tell me, what does health mean to you? When you feel healthy, how do you define that? For some people, it might mean I can just go to work every day. For some other person, it might mean, well, to be healthy to me means to feel like I don't have any pain today. When it comes to nutritional metabolic pattern, can you give me an example of what you purchase on a week, what foods you purchase on a weekly basis? I notice. What percentage of fruit? What are your favorite fruits and vegetables? Can you explain? How do you cook? Can you tell me how do you cook in terms of baking or frying? So you want to have 3 questions for each of the functional health patterns. The assignment goes on to ask you to list your questions. Your list of questions must be submitted with your assignment, okay? So no one needs to ask me that because that's right here. I mean, you can, but it says your list of questions must be submitted with your assignment. So for each of the functional health patterns, you're going to list your 3 open-ended questions, and they should be attached to your assignment. After interviewing the family, compile the data and write a paper analyzing the family assessment. You want to include a brief summarization of each of the you want to summarize the findings of each functional health pattern. So, for example, if you were interviewing myself and my husband, you would say that the Grays, as related to their pattern of health perception and management, both Victor and Melanie Gray are very conscientious about getting their annual physicals, about getting their flu shots. When it comes to nutrition, you would summarize and say, Victor Gray really is dedicated to formulating his meals off of the food pyramid, whereas Melanie Gray might need more teaching because she really likes fried foods, popcorn, and a lot of salt. So you want to summarize what it is, the information that you're getting, what you're learning, because remember, we are learning to serve families and systems. So you want to briefly summarize the findings of each functional health pattern for your family. And then you are going to identify 2 or more wellness nursing diagnoses based on your family assessment. So wellness and family nursing diagnoses are different than standard nursing diagnosis. Um, a list of wellness family nursing diagnosis can be found at this site. I think they might, student did shoot me an email that it appeared that they had to pay for this. I think your book does give you a lot of resources too. It's very helpful in developing the health related nursing diagnoses. I also want to point out to you that you need to look at the rubric. Take the time to go to your assignment and review the rubric. So you might be thinking, wow, this assignment is a lot of work. It is a little more work than you have had in previous assignments. It does have double the point value of your previous assignments. And so it is going to take some time. So interview your family early in the week. Set a day to interview the family. Then or set a day to develop your questions first. Your 3 questions for each of the functional health patterns, which will give you about 33 different questions, open-ended questions. And again, review what an open-ended question is. An open-ended question facilitates more information gathering from the client. Just saying, do you like to go to the doctor? That's a closed-ended question. Tell me about your health pattern, or tell me about your relationship with your medical doctor, or that's going to tell you about, tell me about your relationship with your gynecologist and your general physician, your primary health care provider, or your nurse practitioner. Leaving it open is different from, helps you gather more information than a closed-ended question. So I would attack this assignment again by 1, reviewing Gordon's functional health patterns, then 2, writing out the three open-ended questions that you're going to be asking the members in your family, and then do your assessment and then summarize it. And so if you do that, if you're going to probably need to take the week to get this done and get it done effectively. And do review the rubric. So I believe that really does cover the review for the week 4 update. Again, this course is focused on understanding and learning the role of the community health nurse as a teacher, as a health promoter, as a professional, accepting and understanding of various cultures and being a culturally competent individual. This course is focuses on you understanding the role of the nurse as related to their service to families and family systems, and not just the individual as kind of known, done in acute care. You want to, again, make sure you review your rubrics for the assignment. This is a 200-point assignment. Watch your turn-in scores. The assignment, again, this week's assignment is due on the 20th. It has a maximum point value of 200 points. So this is a very large part of your grade. So you're going to want to do your best. You're going to please review your reading in chapters 6 and 7. It'll be invaluable to you in completing this assignment successfully. And the instructions are here. Again, do your reading, list out your Gordon's functional health patterns, develop your 3 questions for each of Gordon's functional health patterns, and then interview your family, summarizing your findings related to each functional health pattern, and then identify 2 or more wellness nursing diagnoses based on your family assessment. 2 or more wellness diagnosis. So it doesn't ask you to develop a diagnosis for each of the functional health patterns. It's saying identify 2 or more wellness diagnoses based on the information you gathered in your assessment after evaluating and assessing all 11 of the functional health patterns. So let me know if you have any further questions. Make it a great day.